Check. Check.
Oh, you got me fits my jacket and stuff.
We are live.
Thanks for the heads up.
I told you I was going live.
I thought you was playing a video at first, leading into the live.
I am. Just coordinating. That's why you need a set producer. We are live. Thanks for the heads up. I told you I was going live.
I thought you was playing a video at first.
You ready to go?
Waiting on you, boss.
I don't have the theme music. We kind of
man.
we kind of bootleg right now, but we getting it right.
It's past my bedtime.
And we like an hour late.
I'm sleepy, man.
But we ready to go. We getting ready to go right
We're gonna
now.
do this.
But right now, there's only 2 people watching right now. Hi, Crystal Amber. Thank you for watching. Crystal Amber Lewis, can you share this broadcast for us?
Oh.
You ready to go? All right, so this is House of Harley Radio. We've had a long layoff.
Yes, Lord.
We had a really long layoff, and we're going to get this show started. And so as everybody's getting in, we're going to present a song to you. It goes by Paper Chase and Debo, Back Like I've Never Left.
Oh.
And that's the title of this show, Back Like We Never Left.
Okay.
Back Like We Never Left.
Okay, say that.
And
though.
should we open up schools? Is it a good idea or is it a bad idea?
I don't know.
I don't know
We're
either.
gonna talk about that.
We're going to
though.
talk about that. We're going to just let the effervescence flow, and we're going to get this going on. And we're going to play this track for you by Paper Chase and Debo. And you know what? We got a special guest by arresting Breonna Taylor's killers.
Oh wow.
That's the special guest
Okay.
of the show. We're going to keep reminding the authorities out there that they need to arrest Breonna Taylor's killers. They're still out there. They're still
Right.
running around free, scot-free. And we want that to happen ASAP. So right now we're going to just get on with this song by Paper Chase and Debo, Back Like You Never Left. House Harley Radio, let's go.
Let's go.
Cross on my chest, cross on my chest, cross on my chest, chest. Cross on my chest, cross on my chest, cross on my chest. I'm going hard for Jesus Christ. History in the making, prophetic preparation, taking our shots at Satan. I ain't backing up, I ain't letting go. Jesus said vengeance is mine, gotta let the world know. Here we go, covered by the blood of Jesus. I'm free from the death angel. Used to run the streets, but for Jesus I'm gon' bang. Throwing up my treasures in heaven, cause money ain't a thing. How to make a sudden change, rearrange how I think. Maximize the moment, manifest your miracle. Jesus rose from the dead, that should tell you what I'm fitting to do. It's spiritual, constant dying to the flesh. You reap what you sow, time to do what's subtract. Live free, be wise, die ready. Cause most of us are living life without purpose, it ain't worth it. Trying to figure it out, follow Jesus, cause he's for certain. Don't put your hope on man, cause ain't no man can save you. I know it seems so hard with Christ. You can do all things, making first your lowest submission. You can break all chains. And I ain't just talking, got walk it and live it. Used to be running games that Christ got my attention. I'm a sinner that repents, that I forget to mention. True story. Did I forget to mention I'm back at it like I never left? Talking about my Lord and Savior like I'm down to my last breath. I'm back at it like I never left. Talking about my Lord and Savior till I'm down to my last breath. I'm back at it like I never left. Talking about my Lord and Savior like I'm down to my last breath. I'm back at it like I never left. Talking about my Lord and Savior till I'm down to my last breath. Cross on my chest, cross on my chest, cross on my chest, cross on my chest. We all face trials and tribulation, but that don't make an excuse for the choices that you make. Breathtaking, no hesitation, cause even when we fall short, the Lord's grace is amazing. It's the truth and that's the way I'm gonna spit it. The devil is a liar if he think I'm gon' quit it. It's mandatory that I speak the truth for people who never heard and wonder why there's no breakthrough. Steady praying for a change, need to check your heart motive. They say the game at the same demons, they getting bolder. The words to go hard and get the chip off on your shoulder. Humble yourself, become a servant, decency and order. Jesus said we can do greater things according to those who believe. Yes, indeed, according to the power working within. I'm no longer trapped in body because I'm free from sin. Join hands with Jesus Christ, I'm a world overcomer. He's the way, the truth, and the life. Gave me eternal life, took on my sins. In return, he gave me righteousness. He paid the price for this, lay down my life for this. Obedience is better than sacrifice, find new life in it. They say I changed, but I changed for the better. Trend switching the new lane. All I see is growth. Little homies looking to tell me for the antidote. In reality, when they see me, they see Christ though. Shout out to Christ epidemic, cause there's no swag laws. Know how to play my position, begging hard for the cause. And I ain't write these bars, I got it from the Lord. Don't mind me, cause I know the one who's in charge. Representing for JC, my real guard. I'm living proof cause I know times can get hard. Put your trust in Jesus, continue pressing toward the mark. When everything else fails, cast your cares upon God. With a contrite spirit and a sincere heart, there's always a positive side to a situation if you take the time to find it. Block out temptation. Block out temptation. I'm back at it like I never left. Talking about my Lord and Savior like I'm down to my last breath. I'm back at it like I never left. Talking about my Lord and Savior till I'm down to my last breath. I'm back at it like I never left. Talking about my Lord and Savior like I'm down to my last breath. I'm back at it like I never left. Talking about my Lord and Savior till I'm down to my last breath. Cross on my chest, cross on my chest, cross on my chest, cross on my chest. Cross on my chest, cross on my chest, cross on my chest, cross on my chest.
House of Harley Radio, and that's Paper Chasing Debo. Back like I never left. This is House of Harley Radio. Stop laughing at me, man.
Woo-hoo. Okay.
Talia just over here having a good old time laughing at me, but it's all good. But we're going to have a good show. We're going to get this show going, and we just want to remind the authorities to arrest Breonna Taylor's killers.
They need to be behind bars.
Just gonna
under
remind
the jailhouse.
We just gonna put that out there.
Yes, we haven't forgotten.
It doesn't matter what we're talking about.
Right.
Just interject and say, "Oh yeah, we need to arrest Breonna Taylor's
Quick
killers."
reminder.
Yes.
Arrest Breonna's murderers.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. So we're just gonna keep that going. So this is House of Harley Radio. Thank you for tuning in. Look, y'all, we never left. We were here. We been here. We ain't go nowhere. Have we went anywhere?
Yeah, I was here getting fat during this pandemic. I look chubby now, you guys.
Yeah, she need to stop, y'all.
I do.
Don't she look good?
Man, I'm round. My cheeks are puffy. I can't fit none of my clothes.
Whatever, it's all good. It's all love. It's all love. I actually lost 15 pounds during this whole COVID-19 pandemic, and but it's all good. I've been eating mostly is crab legs and shrimp, and getting a lot of gout attacks. But
Lord, you and that gout. Oh my God.
Yes.
Bless you, Lord.
Hey, look. So we never really went anywhere. We were right here. We probably hadn't had like a show like right now, like we're talking. and so a few people have been calling me out, and
Okay.
you know,
getting on you, huh?
they've been getting on me. And it's
Like,
like,
where you at, man?
where you at? Everybody doing these shows, and
Right.
everybody's making things happening, and everybody's doing Zoom and all this other stuff.
Everybody's zooming it out, yo.
Yeah, I just didn't want my whole thing. I just didn't want to do Zoom like everybody else. Like,
Right, I
you
know.
I always try to find innovative Tony
Right,
Stark
we don't
ways.
like to, not any disrespect, we just don't like to follow the crowd.
Yeah.
I
And
get it.
no, and to speak to that, like, shout out to everybody.
They've been
Like,
doing their thing.
I'm actually a fan of all of it. Shout out to everybody that has been very innovative during this COVID-19 time, because it gave people time to figure things out, and they got things going.
Keep it moving.
They got it going. So
Right.
shout out to them. A lot of stuff has changed since March, and
Yes, it has.
a lot has changed since like December 31st, 2019. But
Don't remind me.
yes, but a lot has changed. A lot has changed since March, with the breakout of the coronavirus, COVID-19 virus
Right.
that has plagued not only the United States but the entire world. So, definitely, like I said, I want to give a shout out to everybody, even like shout out to the Trey Taylors of the world,
Right.
the Rashonda Pratts. Who else is doing? Cynthia Hardy, David Pendergrass with Free Thinkers Radio.
David.
And I'm starting to see this wave of people that are either leaving FM, AM radio, and they're doing their own brands,
Right.
and or they're getting fired from, or they're leaving, or laid off. I don't want to say fired like they did
We
something.
don't know that.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. It's whatever the reason is. A lot of these folks that have been with mainstream or a lot of FM radios and even TV are
Right.
branching out, and they're doing their own thing. Even Roland Martin, he's doing his own thing. Your boy.
Oh, I know. I've been watching Rolling every morning when I walk my son to the bus stop. He been on, man.
Yeah, you watching him now.
Watching him now.
I'm just messing.
Really?
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
Is your mic on, by the way?
Yes, it is.
I just wanted to make sure. So it's all good. I love all the innovative ways that everybody's doing everything, and I think it's cool. It's legit, and everybody's making moves, and I love it because it's a shift. Isn't there a shift going on in the world right now?
It really is.
And we'll get to that later.
Don't make me get deep tonight.
Look, Talina and I can
Don't
sit.
make me get deep.
Look, Talina and I can sit down and just start talking, and we can start talking on one thing, and then next thing you know, we out in the universe somewhere, and we get really
Outside of
deep
the
with our
Milky Way.
conversations. Yes, I always said that if we could just have hidden cameras just sitting around and just recording, going live,
Right.
and we just start having our conversation, I think it'd be better than what we're doing right now,
Yeah.
because it gets really deep and crazy.
It does.
But yeah, so we never left. We've been here. We've been out there doing activist work.
Yeah, we've been out there, y'all.
Yes, we've been, you name it, with George Floyd being slain. With all the protests, we've been out at all the protests. And mind you, all this is happening and going on in the middle of a pandemic.
Right.
This is 2020, man. I mean, golly. I just want to press a reboot button and start over, because 2020 has been something to reckon with.
Yes.
It really has.
Living in a actual dream that you can't wake up from.
Yes.
You just have to go to sleep from. It's like in reverse.
It's like I want to get put in a tube and put to sleep. We have, look, we this is our 7th year of existence of House of Harley Radio. 7 years, y'all.
7
We've been
years,
doing
y'all.
this. We have been doing this.
Shay, you've been around 7 years.
Yes, we have been doing this for 7 whole
It's
years.
funny listening to your like earlier shows. Man, if I was on around that time, oh my God.
Yeah, we had some interesting shows.
Yes,
Like
you did.
I encourage y'all to go to Spreaker.com and look up House of Harley Radio. And a lot of our stuff was audio. I have to say, I'm not fudging these numbers. I'm really not. I have to say we have over 2,000 shows.
Wow.
Easily 2,000 shows.
That's a lot, bro.
2,000 whole shows, like between audio and video and broadcasting special events.
Right.
I'm pretty sure we've done over 2,000 entire whole shows. So shout out to all of our listeners, all of our people that have checked us out over the years, a lot of people that have trusted us with your events. We've even opened up a whole company called H2O Media.
Yeah, man.
Everything you see, like these cameras, you see I'm switching, like I'm doing this. Y'all see this? Like, boom, Selena,
He think he fancy,
boom,
y'all.
us. And then, boom, me. And then, boom, a whole computer. Boom. I just got the whole thing set up, and I can do all these little fancy things. All of that is powered by H2O Media. We can do all your media needs. We can do anything.
I
Video.
just seen some anime come up.
Yes, you did.
Oh wow.
You can.
Random.
We can do videography, photography, commercials.
We do it.
You
all,
name
yo.
it. DJing, hosting, whatever your media needs are, we can do it. We got it for you. And hit us up. We can make it happen. And one of our sponsors is also Harley Farms. I'll play the commercial at some point, baby.
Oh my God.
Which one should I play? Both of them? I'll do both of them. But Harley Farms, House Harley Radio, and H2O Media is sponsored.
Maybe at the end.
Maybe at the end. It's sponsored by Harley Farms, and it's the home of the $25 fill your grocery bag up
Organic,
with
y'all.
organic
Can't get no
fruits
better
and
than
vegetables. Right now we got they have sweet corn. Man, the corn is like popping. Tomatoes, we got okra. They got watermelons, squash,
That watermelon
zucchini.
was so sweet.
Wasn't that watermelon good?
Oh my goodness.
That watermelon was popping. The okra, we let it grow too long, and it got hard. But I still tried to cook it. But man, when I cooked that thing was so good. I don't care. I was eating that thing hard. I was eating that thing hard. So, but yeah. So just thanks to everybody that's been out there listening and supporting House of Harley Radio, because we've been really out there.
Right.
Like I said, we did the Million Man March SC in South Carolina, and that was a very spiritual moment.
It really was.
If you was not there, you missed
Powerful moment. A powerful day.
If you complained about it, you got problems.
No, if you complain about it, you clearly wasn't there.
Yeah, you just wasn't
wasn't
there.
there.
It was definitely one of them things that you had to be there. And I was actually blessed to actually DJ the march, and everybody talks about that moment, and that moment was the glory moment, and that was the moment that well, basically, just to kind of give everybody a real quick synopsis, we marched from Martin Luther King Park to State House, and it was pretty much an uphill walk the entire time.
It was.
And I was DJing y'all. I was DJing on the back of a truck,
In the heat.
an 18-wheeler truck, not no regular truck, not a big truck, an 18-wheeler truck in the heat. And I must say it was very interesting, and got to near the State House, and I will give a little backstory about what happened the organizer wanted me to play Return of the Mac when we got to the State House, and I hope I'm not telling on, but this I have to tell y'all this because this was an amazing thing that happened. So we got around to the State House, and I actually had Return of the Mac queued up, and I just looked to the left and the right, and I was looking around, and I was like, yo, I can't play Return of the Mac. I just can't. I said, I'm gonna have to apologize to him later. And I looked around and I was like, I can't do it. I was doing like this. I was about to press play on the DJ controller, and I at the last second I switched out the songs and I put Glory, and then there was a Harriet Tubman song that I had ready to play next.
Yeah, I was kind of responsible for that.
Why? Because you downloaded it?
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to you for helping me download stuff, you know.
I was behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
You better give Talina her credit because she going to let you know. But anyway, so got to the point where we got to the State House, and I had Return of the Mac queued up. I switched it out, and I was like, and I played Glory with Common, with what's the pretty boy name? What's his name?
Oh, you said John Legend.
John Legend. Yeah, John Legend and Common. I just went blank. Y'all, it's hot and flies are all up in here like flying around. They crazy. Am I the only one with fly problems?
No, man. It's like, I don't know what's going on with these flies, but
they crazy.
The ecosystem is off or something.
Yeah. But so I played it, and it was like everybody, I played it and I put my fist up like this, right? And I was on the back of the truck, and I'm mad because nobody, not one single soul with a camera, with a professional camera, with a phone camera, nobody took a picture of that moment. Nobody. There's anything that I was bad about, it was that. Because that was a powerful moment, because everybody that was coming into the State House, I put my fist up, everybody else put their fist up.
I had my fist up. I was in the front.
Yeah, I know.
I was in the front. Let me stop.
And we and everybody was crying. Everybody was crying. The cops were crying.
The Holy Ghost that day.
Everybody was crying. I got me a little 2-step in, got my little shout on. I ain't lying. I was like praising in silence.
Right.
And nobody saw it. I got it in. I'm glad I had shades on because I was just boohoo crying. Is that rain? Oh, it's raining.
It is. It's pouring.
But anyway, so it's a little past 9:00. Sorry y'all for starting so late. We were supposed to start at 7:30, but we had technical difficulties. But we are up and we're going now. And so we never left. We're right here. Over 2,000 shows between our radio shows, live broadcasting of events. Mm-hmm. We've been out here. We've been doing it, and we'll never left. We'll never leave y'all. We ain't going nowhere.
Right.
We ain't going nowhere. So tonight we're going to be talking about school reopenings.
Ooh, yeah.
School reopenings. Is it a good idea or is it a bad idea? So I'm going to start with you, Talina. You ready?
I guess I'm as ready as I can be right now.
And so let me kind of set this up for y'all.
Right.
So COVID-19 happened, right? Back in March. Mm-hmm. And I was ultra critical of how we did not close the schools. I was upset and very critical of the governor because the governor waited, in my opinion, too long to close down the school system. Right. Everything else was closing.
Right.
Everybody else was closing. And the governor was slow to act. Mm-hmm. The governor back in March only closed 2 school districts. I think it was Clarendon County,
right,
and Kershaw County. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why he closed those down because there were reports that there was some students that were in contact of folks that were positive of the coronavirus, and he just said, "Well, I'm gonna just close those school districts,
Right.
and or those counties." And I was sitting back wondering, I was like, "Well, why are we only closing 2? Like if you close those 2, what does that mean? Does that mean that the virus isn't going to travel?
Right.
Is it's going to stop right there?" I was like, the virus is, you close down those counties, that's not going to stop those individuals from getting in their car and coming where, to Columbia, because there's not much in those counties. So where are they going to come? Columbia. Let's go to Frankie Fun Park. Let's go to, what's another fun place to go in Columbia? Not that there's a lot. Trampoline parks. Everything was still open.
Right.
So I was sitting there, I was like, if you close those 2, you might as well shut down all of them.
All of it. Right.
And I felt like the governor wasted time, and didn't do it in time. I just felt like South Carolina was slow to act. And even right now with school reopenings, we're slow to act. And it's biting us in the butt, and we'll get into that. So if you have any questions, comments, or whatever, we'll have a phone line set up, not for this show. I just couldn't get it set up in time enough, but we just wanted to get this show going, because what we're doing right now, we're doing this show today and just kind of reintroduce ourselves, get ourselves going, and get our palates wet, get back to this, the cameras being in front of us and the lights being in front of us and stuff of that nature, and get back going. So if you want to check us out, we're on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and I think that's it. Make sure I'm missing one. But you can check us out on 4 of those platforms right now. Right. And in a little bit, I'll say it, we'll be on TV too. You'll be able to check us out on TV. Isn't that cool? Y'all ready for that? So, so we're going to get into it. If you could, we'll keep an eye out on the live video feed. And, if you're watching, be nice and share it, and check us out, and we'll talk about this. So what do you think, Talina? School reopenings, I guess to give some more backstory, is that it's July.
Right.
It's the end of July, and it's about to be August. Right. Schools are set to start at least in District 1, Richland School District 1, August 19th. I just listened to the entire school board meeting that they're going to delay school starting from August 19th to September 31st. And I'm pretty sure District 2 is probably going to echo that. I think, and I don't want to misspeak that, but so those of you out there that haven't heard, they're recommending or looking to start schools September 31st. I don't know exactly when Labor Day is, but you're talking about September 31st. But the thing that kind of has bothered me the entire time with the school reopenings is, how did putting our kids back in school end up being a major topic? Like, because it's like in March we were dying, and now it's like, let's get the kids back in school now. And back then we didn't really know what was going on. Now we do have some science and stuff, and we kind of know what's going on, but there's still, what we do know is that there's no true cure. There's some medications that kind of help cure it, but it's not a definite thing.
Right.
Right now in South Carolina is a hot spot.
Yes, it is.
there have been 56 people that died. And the thing that's bothering me with the reporting is they're saying 56 people died, but they're saying, oh, that number has only risen because there weren't numbers that was reported. There were numbers that weren't reported from 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And so I think there was only 9 that died today, but they're adding on the whatever number to make it 56.
That's if the report is right.
Right. That's like, y'all gotta get this thing right.
Please.
And it seems like America is the only country that has not gotten this thing right. And if there's anything that bothers me, that's what's bothering me about this whole entire thing is that America, we haven't gotten it right. In the South, well, first President Trump was like, well, in the summer, it'll all go away and be gone. But that is not the case right now. It's not gone. It's still here.
Of course.
And so, and it's even worse. So the numbers have gotten higher and higher and higher. And it's like there's no end. So to me, even talking about sending kids back to school is with the numbers, there's no relief. And we'll get into that. There's no relief. The numbers are still going high. And so it's like even just having the talk of starting school bothers me. However, I do understand that the conversation needs to be had. I do get it. Because, I'm not expecting them to just be quiet because somebody's going to be sitting there wondering like, well, why we ain't start our kids in school yet? And so I know the conversation has to be had. I have my own opinion. So, I just have so much to say and we can't do it all in one show, but, I don't know. So to just get into this, what is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? With all that Talina C, with all that you know and with all that you heard, is this a good idea, bad idea? What say you?
I don't think it's a great or good or any idea. Like, oh my gosh, it's a scary time. Me being a mother of 3, I worry for my kids because this is a time that I've never experienced as a child. So me being concerned with my kids, possibly having to go to school, when we were put under quarantine at the beginning in March, I lost relatives within 1 week. That's scary, and it's traumatic, and it's like a tragic situation. So with kids going to school, it concerns me because you see these schools when there was no pandemic. Like I recall going to pick my kids up from elementary school at one point. I would go into the restrooms. I would see how unsanitized the bathrooms are. So if they can't keep the school clean during just a normal time, what makes you think I'm gonna trust you or the school maintaining some type of sanitation during the pandemic with possibly unruly kids? Because every school has class. And every school has that teacher who can't control their students. So I don't know. It doesn't look too good to me. I don't know about that.
And so you have, what are the ages of your children?
Well, let's see. Miracle's the oldest. She just graduated from high school. I have a high school graduate. Harmony, she's going to be a junior this year. And then CJ is going to 7th grade.
Wow.
Yeah, CJ's 12. Harmony, she's going to be 17 September. Miracle, of course, she's 18.
So you have middle school. You have
high school.
Middle school, high schooler,
and a college student.
College. And that even with college, that's going to pose some difficulties too.
You know how nervous I am. I'm like, praying just that all my kids remain covered and everyone else's kids remain covered, safe, and healthy. It's just a scary time, an uncertain time.
Right. Yeah. So, just to reiterate, y'all know me, being a single parent, full-time father. I have boy-girl twins. They are both autistic. However, they are like functionally autistic. And so, if you don't know that about me, now you know. So I have grave concerns. Grave concerns.
As you should.
I mean, I am. It's crazy. And I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I was like, here we are, in the middle of a pandemic, that it's not controlled.
None.
It's not controlled.
There's people out here walking around here all regular and stuff.
Regular. I mean, just no mask, just
I'm
nothing.
invincible.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, just and it just totally it trips me out. Everybody just walking around just like gee golly willikers, like.
Wow, that's a new word.
Yeah, and it's like it's tripping me out that that these folks are just walking around like you say regular, and we're in the middle of a pandemic. And so I find it interesting that we're like, there's moms and dads that are literally, they're still at home working, but yet we're ready. First of all, let me go to the governor. There's so many directions that I can go with this thing. It's like, I want to go this way. Which way do I want to go? It's
where to start.
It's
Shay?
there's so many directions I could go with this thing until it's like so crazy. And so no, but I'll start with our governor. Our governor in the whole beginning, Governor McMaster. He was.
Why is that name? It just gives me PTSD.
It does. I don't like it. I don't call him Mick.
I already live in South Carolina. Our history ain't so pretty, and we have a governor named McMaster. Oh my God.
Governor McMaster. He was slow to act already. He was butting heads with the mayor, Steve Benjamin. Mayor Steve Benjamin was on it. He shut things down. He had an ordinance. Curfew. He shut things down because he knew folks were going to gravitate towards Main Street, and they're going to be all up and down Main Street just coronavirusing themselves the entire time. So he got ahead of it. And there's so many people mad at him, and it was like, y'all, this is for real. People are dying from it. Like, you had family members that died. I know at least 10 people that have died from it that I was not blood related to, but my kids.
There was connection.
Right. My kids' mother's family that I've known for my entire childhood. So they were pretty much family to me. So I'm really, really close to them. But so the governor moved slow on this thing, but fast forward to now, the governor had made recommendations to start school face-to-face schooling. And it was like his recommendation gave no options at all. Like, it wasn't like face-to-face or hybrid or e-learning. It was like, I'd like to recommend that we do and that's how he talked. He'd be like, I'd like to recommend that and he does this smack that gets on my nerves when he talks. I like to recommend that smack when people talk.
Right.
Ooh. I like to recommend that all the kids do face-to-face 5 days a week schooling. Schools are important. Our schools for our kids are important. And South Carolina schools are great, and South Carolina schools need our kids in schools. And I'm sitting up there, I'm listening to that, I'm like, 5 days a week, like literally, you want us to do 5 days a week, face-to-face classes. And the thing that just had me tripping about that off the bat, I started just thinking like, how's this gonna work?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because you have a virus that's not stopping.
Right.
The virus is sitting there, and it's like, and we were talking about this the other day. Trump, he wants us to just go on back to school. The Trump administration has totally washed their hands of this entire thing. They was like, nah, I ain't worried about it. Y'all going back to school, going back to work. We good. Matter of fact, stop reporting the numbers. Don't tell American citizens about the numbers anymore. Just stop test. Like, he's like telling you, stop testing. Don't test no more. Like, don't test. But you want us to thrust our kids back in school with a virus that has no cure.
Right.
And so the coronavirus is sitting there. The coronavirus is sitting there on a mountain and being like, hey, wait a minute. You sending your kids back to school?
Right.
And we're like, yeah, we're going to send our kids back to school. But I'm not done killing y'all yet. And we're like, nah, they'll be all right. Kids heal quicker and they'll be fine. And coronavirus is like, are you sure? Coronavirus sitting there like, hot damn diggity dog. Are you sure? You gonna send the kids back to school? I don't want to get the kids. And they're like, nah, they'll be all right. They'll give us some medicine. And coronavirus is sitting there is like, okay, I'm coming for you. And so the Trump administration wants us to go back to school. Matter of fact, Vice President Pence was in Columbia today to meet with the governor. By the way, the day after the governor, McMaster, gave $32 million to private schools. $32 million to private schools. When our public schools need it the most.
Right.
He gave $32 million to private schools when this is how it was supposed to work.
He gave it to the privileged.
Right, he gave it to the privileged. So the people that send their kids to private school, they have money.
Of course they do.
They're not broke people. They have
schools are well equipped.
They're well equipped. They have the money. And so it's like I couldn't believe it. So he gave the money to private schools and only left like maybe what 14 million, 16 million left for public schools. And so I started thinking, I was like, well, if you ask me the question to say, well, do you think school should you think the school year should be canceled? I'm gonna say no. I don't think the school year should be canceled. I think we should find a way to get our kids educated. Instead of them sitting around for a whole another year or until we figure this thing out.
Right.
And the answer is we may never figure out coronavirus. So I do agree that we need to find ways. I do feel that in some of our districts, I think we kind of failed our students by not being, in a way, prepared for this. Being prepared for this. But I'll put that to the side. But I started thinking about all the things that you're going to need about for our schools. And so I'm going to ask you, what are the things that you think that the schools are going to need to spend money on to make sure that schools are safe? Like, what do you think?
Oh Lord, where's a good cleaning service for
Right.
one?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you know what? It just hit me because it's always been an issue with having too many students in one class.
Mm-hmm.
So how are we being how are they, how are they preparing for this if we're already complaining and struggling with the teacher to student ratio?
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear nobody talking about that.
Right. And just off the bat, it's like how, when you talk about this teacher student ratio, how are you going to social distance students in the classroom? Like, here's the three options. If y'all, anybody hadn't been paying attention, here are the three options. You have face to face, 5 days a week, and possibly with that, possibly have like A day,
B day,
and then B day stays home, and then
some schools do that now.
B day.
Like my girls in high school, they do A
Right.
day, B day, but school's
Right.
still crowded.
Right. It's still crowded. So, I mean, even if you have A day go to school on Monday and B day go to school on Tuesdays and then switch it up the next week, you're still going to have a huge number of students.
Right.
The classrooms, if any of you parents out there haven't been to your schools to walk in the classrooms and been to the schools, those classrooms are only but so big.
Right.
I could lay across one and almost take up from my feet to the tip of my hands. I could lay across one and there'd be maybe a couple more feet before I touch the wall.
Right.
And so those classrooms are not, and mind you, I'm 6'3", so if I stretch across anything, I'm gonna take up a lot of space. And plus I'm fat. So so it's gonna be impossible to social distance. Then you gotta ask, are kids going to social distance? I don't see it happening. I do not see kids being aware enough to social distance.
Shoot, it was hard enough keeping little kids from playing with each other outside.
Yeah. Y'all, like,
that's being home, under your parent supervision. That was kind of tough.
Right.
My son, he's very active.
Right.
He's very athletic. He likes to play sports. He likes playing with other kids, and it was very it was kind of tough. And then you're feeling guilty for keeping them away from other kids. It's kind of like, what do you do? How to balance that out where you don't want your child depressed because they can't play with other kids, but at the same time, you don't know who those other kids been around and passing off the virus to your child, coming home to someone with underlying conditions, of course, and then you just don't know.
Right. That was the hardest thing. Like when schools was over, back in March, the kids were like playing with each other in my neighborhood, and and it's weird. I don't know why, but the kids come to my house and play in front of my house, and they be knocking on the door and they be like, "Can the dogs come outside?"
Tebow got friends.
Yeah, look, Tebow, our dog, has friends, like, and our dog Sage. And I mean, they just be so sweet. But when this thing bust out, they was like, nah, they were playing with each other, they were touching each other, they were wanting to touch the dogs.
It was like it was the weekend.
It was like it was the weekend, and it was. And even when you explained to him, he was like, "Well, you guys know you can't play together," and they would just look at you and just go right back to playing again.
And I said, oh.
So that's what we've had to deal with in our neighborhoods.
Right.
So I could imagine what the teachers and administrators and the staff is going to have to deal with having children in the schools. Like it's going to be madness. Like my heart my heart goes out to these teachers and staff because they are the ones that's going to have to execute this. And I think when I was listening to the Richland One school board meeting report, I wasn't listening too hard because I was preparing for the show, and I think I heard one of the doctors, scientists, was saying that 25% of the teachers are okay with, going back and teaching in the schools. 25%. That's a big number, but it's a small number too, and I wonder what the influence is like. I would love, because we're actually doing this show. We're doing this show today. We're going to have a show tomorrow, and we're going to have a show Thursday. Today, we're just, like I said, we're just getting our palates wet. We're getting ourselves back into this show thing and talking about the issues that we have.
Right.
And so tomorrow, we're going to be talking to parents about how they feel about this whole thing. And then Thursday, we're going to be talking to teachers. And then we'll announce later what we're going to do next week. But we got a jam-packed, tough week ahead of us. But my heart pours out to the teachers, even the ones that want to go.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Like I said, I would love to get my hands. If anybody listening out there and you're a teacher or an educator that wants to go back to the school to teach, please inbox us. Let me know. I really want to talk to them.
We want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah, we want to know what you're thinking, like why, and are you not worried about the virus, or are you really willing to lay down your life and the life of your family
and possibly kids
and your moms, your dads, your grandparents, your aunts.
Because Lord knows I love my grandparents, and I want to stay corona free so I can love up on my people.
Yeah.
Man, it's scary.
It's scary. So my heart goes out to those teachers that want to actually go and deal with this thing. Y'all are definitely, if you're not being influenced or forced, y'all are really the true MVPs in my eyes. But y'all, I have to say, you have a task ahead of you.
I know we shouldn't live in fear, but at the same time, it's about being mindful of those who won't be able to beat this thing.
And that's the thing. It's like there's no answer. The thing that kind of irritates me, that there's no answer to this thing, and it's the numbers are growing, growing, especially in South Carolina. They're growing. We shouldn't even be talking about having kids going to school. To me, it should be one option: e-learning. Period.
Virtual classrooms.
Virtual classrooms.
Not
period.
just throwing work and assigning work.
Right.
Have an actual virtual classroom. Like how we doing meetings, like we do the Zoom meetings or Microsoft Team meetings and stuff. Do a virtual classroom.
Yeah.
Where the parent, because sometimes, we got parents working from home. You can't work and teach your kids. Parents are trying to keep their jobs. They're not trying to get fired. Right. Some parents probably working jobs where they have production requirements. So there's a lot of things to consider.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot to consider. And like I said, there's so many angles we can come from tonight. And, I just kind of want to keep us on like levels to this thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to lose our audience and be all over the place. But there's just in the school, there's just so many things to consider. Like, for example, okay, let's look at the options face-to-face. Let's face-to-face 5 days a week / hybrid. With those two scenarios, to me, it's like so many questions. What are you going to do when one person tests positive? Is there going to be regular testing on a weekly basis?
Right. I was going to say that too.
Like you have to. You just have to. It's like
They're gonna have to be on campus.
You know what I'm saying?
On campus testing.
Right.
Yeah.
You there's so many. If you just think about a kid's day when they prepare for school, they wake up in the morning and they go catch what? The bus.
The bus.
Right.
So I know my kids have been bus riders for, since grade school.
That's the first thing. They catching the
See,
bus.
me, that was my only option because my work schedule interacts with the time they have to get dropped off to school. So my better option was the school bus for my kids.
Right.
They're getting to school and I'm getting to work.
Right. Let me rewind. We're talking about right now. We're talking about face to face 5 days a week and the hybrid.
Right.
So you're getting your kids ready, and while they're getting ready, there's some parents. There's a lot of parents that's still working from home.
Right.
And it's cool that they have the option to work from home. But there's some parents that don't have the option to work from home. Like they have to go in. So my question for them, and I can't wait to talk to the parents, is, it's summertime, so what are you doing with your kids? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like some of them want them to go back to school, but it's summertime, so what are you doing with your kids now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And some of the parents, I'm not gonna go there yet. I was gonna go. Well, no, I'll go there.
Look in your face.
I'll go there. I don't care. The thing that the parents that are like complaining about, I can't handle my kids. I just don't know.
Man, what y'all been doing the whole time when you gave?
It's just too tough.
Kids in the world, man.
My kids are driving me crazy, and I just can't handle it. And it's like,
yeah,
they're your kids.
Social media was popping with a lot of people. Like, I don't know what to do with my kids.
Yeah, and it's like,
I was thrown back a little bit by that. No judgment. It was just kind of like, wow.
Yeah, I understand. Like, I get it. You need your personal
You're
space.
balancing,
Right.
Especially if you've already been working from home,
Right.
And it's new. Like, okay,
I get that.
yeah,
Because some people got some kids that just be
just highly energetic.
they be all over everything.
Right.
And it's like you trying to have a Zoom meeting and they like, blish, clash, boom, boom. Stop touching your sister. And like, stop picking your nose. Who put the toys in the toilet? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I know that's what's going on, in some families. I ain't gonna lie. Our kids, they were stressing me out too. With like, I felt like the house should be clean. There's no excuse. We here at the house. We are here at the house. The house should be the house. The house should be clean. It shouldn't be dirty at all. And so you should be doing your work. And this house should be clean and spotless. I hereby declare it is July 21st, 22nd.
Right.
My house is a filthy mess, y'all. My house is a mess. And we still hadn't figured out this whole thing would keep the house clean. But get back on track. You got the parents that are working from home. They want the kids to go to school. And then you got the parents that have jobs, 2 or 3 jobs.
Yeah, trying to survive. And the ones that can work from home, they're blessed. Yeah.
I understand why you would want them to go to school. I'm not going to knock you if that's what you want. But it's taking a risk. It's just too much to take a risk for the life of your child or your children. That risk is just too great in my opinion. if I could speak to the parents that have to go to a job because they work in a machine factory or something like that, or
Right.
a car factory where they got to put things together. I don't know. It's hard. It's so hard. Because if they do just e-learning, they gotta leave their kids behind. And some of these jobs they're very unforgiving, even in a pandemic. And shame on some of these jobs. Shame on some of these jobs that are very unforgiving.
I've seen these corporate jobs, how they've treated people. Nothing to do with pandemic, but having a child that's sick that can't stay at school because they have a fever. Of course, they have to leave the job, and they get fired because they had to go home and take care of the kids. I've seen this, witnessed this numerous of times. So the thing is, people are scared. Some people, well, depending on what type of work environment you have, you're scared. You're concerned with, okay, if I don't go to work, I'm gonna lose my job. And you've seen it. I know a lot of everybody who's watching probably seen parents send a sick child to school because they don't want to miss work.
Mm-hmm.
So think about how that would be during a pandemic.
Mm-hmm. And
it happens all the time. They send their child hoping that they can get through the day without anyone noticing that they're running a fever.
Right.
I've seen that many times.
And it's so sad that even in the middle of middle of a pandemic, that some of these companies still don't give a damn about you, your kids, and all that other stuff. It's like, if I could appeal, if I'm put this camera on me and look into that camera, if I could appeal to these companies and jobs, like, y'all, you guys got to give these parents a chance. Like, people aren't lazy. We want to work. We want to make money. We know, I think if you're an adult, I think we all understand that we got to work jobs and we got to make money and all this other stuff. But if I could just appeal to these jobs and these companies, like, please be more understanding about what's going on. Like, this, if there's anything that I've learned about this time and this season, is that people need to draw more closer together. Families need to draw closer together. Companies need to draw more closer together. Everybody needs to draw. Neighborhoods need to draw more closer together. Neighborhoods need to be more together, and especially, like I said, especially in neighborhoods, because it's like, some of us don't even know our next door neighbor's name. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to get more control of our neighborhoods. Families need to get closer. Jobs need to get closer. These companies need to be more understanding of their employees' needs and not just fire them because you're going to have these kids at home. So some of these workers may have to go home for lunch. Instead of a 30-minute lunch break, maybe an hour, maybe even an hour and a half. Maybe find a way that maybe if they work their hours right, maybe they can have Friday off, or have Monday off, or out of 5 days out of a week, have one of those days off. These companies got to be more understanding of the nature of what's going on out there and be more accommodating. So, but I my heart goes out to those families, those mothers and fathers that have to go to a job. I mean, I don't know what you're doing now with your kids. I'm pretty sure they're home now. Then, we talked about the parents going to work or working from home or going to their jobs, the kids going to school. Then say you do have a parent, you do have to go to school,
right?
But your kids are at home. One of the things that a lot of people have been talking about is the safety of the children at home. I have a feeling like predators are going to increase. because these predators are going to know that the kids are at home.
Right.
And they're going to know that the kids are at home. It's possible that their parents aren't home. So
It's a lot of scenarios.
there's a lot of scenarios. So I implore to you parents out there, if you can afford it, get security cameras, get a security system, get a system in place. And one thing I do have to say to parents, if you're not stepping your game up, you got to step your game up now. Like, life has changed. Get over it. Life has changed. You got to get over it. You have to make the necessary preparations for the school year. Mm-hmm. You have to make the necessary preparations for your homes.
Right.
One thing I do know about people find a way to spend money.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know there's some that's down and out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe our governor, maybe our state government, maybe our federal government can help and provide funds for people that need to get security cameras, a security system in their homes, so that, you know, parents can feel a little bit better about having their kids at home while they're at work. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm not talking about the little security system where you open the door and just goes beep, and the cops maybe show up. Because I've had one before, and I've tripped the alarm, and the cops never showed up.
Oh my gosh!
Never showed up. Never. But
all your stuff gone.
All your stuff gone. So you got that concern of, you know, your parents that gotta go to work and the kids sitting at home. Mm-hmm. Then the other concern, okay, you go home, you got a security camera. Are your
kids doing what they're supposed to be?
Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing?
Right.
They're probably not. Some are, some aren't. But I tell you, in the Harley household, the fear of God is in this house. In this house, the fear of God is like, you don't get your work done, we gonna have a problem up in here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, but some households may not be that strong to handle that. Mm-hmm. The mother might have 3, 4, 5, 6 kids that are in different grades. Thank God for me, mine are in the same, well, not in the same grade, but they're
a year apart.
Yeah, a year apart. Mm-hmm. You know, yours, a year apart. You got, even though you got one in college, high school, and middle school, at least the 2 older ones are close together.
Right. And they're mature to kind of manage themselves.
And they not only can they manage themselves,
they can manage
their little brother. Mm-hmm. You know, so every family's dynamic is different, and I get it.
Right.
You know, so are your kids that are staying home doing e-learning? And from what I was listening from the Richland One School Board, and if you can kind of pay attention to people asking questions or making statements too, because I'm doing other things as we're talking here. But, you know, like I said, are your kids doing their work? Mm-hmm. And that's that dynamic. Every family's dynamic is different. And I'm not going to knock anybody's family for what they choose, but I am just so worried about families that are choosing the hybrid or 5-day face-to-face. It's just so many questions. So your kids are home alone. Mm-hmm. Are they doing their work? And so what I learned about from listening to the Richland One School Board meeting is that e-learning is not going to be like what they did
when they were sent home. I thought that was just horrible.
Right.
How they did it. It was very questionable.
Yeah, it was very questionable. It was like
we had to put some teachers on, you know, put them on the hot spot for a minute.
Right. Because all they were doing, they were just shoving work.
That's all they were doing.
They were just shoving work. And that's not what e-learning is. Mm-hmm. And so now, hybrid, face-to-face learning, they got to get to the bus. How the kids do it? How? I gotta put the camera.
They're gonna double the bus transportation. You gonna social distance they're gonna be sitting on the top. They're gonna be sitting on the roof. Let me stop.
I would do like your kids do, and my daughter does it too. They're like, how is social distancing gonna be on the bus? I saw a diagram of that the bus setup is gonna be like, what is it? One kid per seat or something like that,
So
or two.
somebody
in
ain't
one
gonna
seat.
be able to fit.
How?
Somebody ain't gonna be able to get on the bus. Let me stop.
How?
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Now I haven't heard anything about that either. Not too much.
Yeah.
But Prince Ice did make a statement. What's up, Prince Ice, our favorite DJ?
Ice!
Woo! But he did state there's more working from home and homeschooling to the point that we don't need to send kids back to a building full of possible contamination.
That's right.
I guess this is just like basically he's saying this is our time to practice the new way of life.
Right. And
kids.
like I said, there's so many directions because we don't even have enough time to go into all these directions. And I'm happy that we, like a lot of people, go back to the very beginning, people have been kicking my butt about, y'all ain't talking about the issues. What happened to y'all? Y'all used to be out there and we used to enjoy watching y'all because y'all were so different. And one thing I can say, about
We'll get back to that. I know I have some things. Bro.
Yeah, we had, look, y'all, I'm telling you, we haven't been, look, we've been plotting, scheming. Trust me, we got some stuff for y'all coming up. And I'm so excited. Like I'm giggity. We gonna get this thing going. But, I forgot my point because I went off on a tangent. Dag nabbit.
We were talking about the new way
of life, right? The new, and I touched you, and we supposed to be social distancing. Somebody get some hand sanitizer.
Wipe me down.
Mind you, we are 6 feet apart. We're 6 feet apart. We're 6 feet apart.
My arm ain't 6 feet.
That's 3. And you stick out another arm, that's 3. That's 6 feet apart. We are 6 feet apart. We're social distancing. Plus, we family anyway. So, no, but seriously, though, the new way of life. A bug just went up my nose. But, so, no, but seriously, though, if we take a pause from what we're talking about and, like, talk about the new way of life. The new way, I feel like now more than ever, period. This is the time. Last time something like this happened was 100 years ago. And one thing that I must implore to everybody, go to YouTube and type up the 1918 virus.
Right.
YouTube it. I wish I had the exact link, and maybe I'll provide it on and post that video on the House Harley radio page. In 1918, that virus was so bad that people would get the virus in the morning, like 8 o'clock in the morning, and by 9 or 10 o'clock p.m., they died. There were people so sick that they got the virus and they died within hours. And so you had whole entire families that were being wiped out. Right. That virus was that bad. And if you watch this video, it'll let you know why we need to take this serious and why getting ahead of it is important. And that's something that the state of South Carolina did not do. We did not get ahead of it. We poo-pooed it.
We act too slow. We're not proactive at all.
Right. Yeah. Florida didn't get ahead of it. Parts of Georgia didn't get ahead of it. And I talk about this all the time. One thing about us human beings, we're so hard headed. We're so hard.
We act spoiled.
Oh.
We're acting entitled, you guys.
We're so. If anything's gonna kill us, it's because we are Americans. We just so spoiled. We want everything our way. We just gotta have it. We just can't take the time to just take a break or
And just see
change.
the bigger picture.
See the bigger picture. You're worried about, I want to go back to having fun. Well,
We
we all do, yes.
I'm all about having fun now. I don't like being a stiff or whatever, but it's just seeing the bigger picture. You know, you can't take anybody in our lives, our kids, families. We can't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
Life is just, oh my God.
You gotta, yeah. I want to have fun too. I have a military background. I was in the military, United States Air Force. My dad was in the Army, retired, master sergeant. My brother's a colonel in the Army. And when you go to training, when you go to basic training, all of the drill sergeants, they tell you, it's just time.
Just time.
It's just time. I'll have you for 6, 8 weeks, 11 weeks, however. And after that, it's over.
It's just a little sacrifice.
It's over. It's just time. Right now, it's like, it's time. And if we take the time to shut things down, social distance, right now, South Carolina needs to shut down. Because September 31st, going back to school, is not going to happen. You want to know what happens around that time? Labor Day.
We already have 6 season we got the winter holidays coming up. Well, flu season on top of the pandemic.
Right.
So it's going to be a quite challenging time.
Right. You got Labor Day around that time. So
September, I think.
Yeah, I think it's around that time. I don't know if anybody can tell me what. Miracle, can you tell me what date is Labor Day?
She said, "Oh Lord."
All you gotta do is Google it. Use Siri. Oh, I gotta be careful because my phone would have activated. But anyway, when? So September 7th. So, okay, let's go there. September 7th, right? That's going to be, I think that's a Monday. Is that a Monday? That's a Monday. So everybody's going to be getting their last, because Labor Day is the last little holiday before Thanksgiving and Christmas. So everybody's been cooped up. It's supposed to be the last barbecue. Everybody's going to go barbecue and party. In South Carolina, they're going to go party and barbecue for Labor Day weekend.
Right.
Well, guess what's going to happen Tuesday morning and Tuesday night? The coronavirus numbers are going to spike even higher. So you're supposed to be starting school September 31st. Those numbers are going to spike higher. They're going to get higher. And then school's supposed to start September 31st. I don't see it. To me, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, August 31st.
No, September.
September.
They said September.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what originally one thing was saying. They're looking at a date of September 31st. So if you go to Labor Day weekend, everybody's going to be partying Labor Day weekend. You got there's concerts happening.
Yeah.
There's a concert happening with Juvenile, I think Trina, Bootsy, and a whole bunch of artists that's happening in Florence.
Yeah.
That's
cooler, like a little cooler fest.
Is that in July or August?
I think it's this.
It's happening really soon. So there's a concert happening. Like, oh, we're giving out masks and hand sanitizer. I bet you bottom dollar I bet you bottom dollar that people gonna get coronavirus there too.
Shoot, you know what? You forgot about these little Corona parties that these high schoolers have been having. They're like, I don't give a, I don't give a what?
Yeah,
Hey,
they're still having coronavirus parties.
There was one this weekend.
In Columbia.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were piled up, both sweating and all.
Wow.
Man.
So the numbers right now, the numbers aren't going to stop. Because people have not stopped. And people are like, F it, I'm going to live my life. But we're talking about sending our kids back to school.
Right.
I just don't. It's scary. Mm-hmm. It is so scary because you got us as adults,
right,
that haven't stopped. We haven't slowed down.
Oh no.
So how? Tell me how.
And you know what troubles me? I mean, of course we have to keep our immune system up, and I see people saying all you got to do is eat the right stuff to keep your immune systems, but you're still neglecting the fact of individuals who have conditions that herbs or whatever immune boosters won't help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not about you. Of course, you got to keep your immune system up, but still, those other people that you may come in contact with.
Right. You're still gonna come in contact with those people.
Right.
And you're going to get them sick. Those are the ones that we're worried about.
Yeah.
Those folks right there. Those are the people that we're worried about. We worried about them. Or well, there's some people that ain't worried about them. Like I said, we can go real deep into just coronavirus by itself. But we're not. The time is getting ahead of us, and we probably coming to the end of the show tonight. But y'all out there, just tell us what you think. I wish I had the phone line.
Just chime in and any other, like, I want to know I like seeing other people's perspectives.
Right. We'll have hopefully tomorrow we'll have a phone line, and for the next up and coming show we'll have a phone line that we can get y'all in and just kind of hear y'all viewpoints, because I know a lot of you have viewpoints and everything. So but there's so many angles we can go at this. But yeah, there's us as adults, we haven't shut ourselves down.
Right.
And our kids haven't shut themselves down. More people are getting tested. And the thing about it, even when you get tested, you go out and do something. Like, okay, I'll address something real quick, because a lot of people were getting on me, and I'm a very transparent person. I kind of give a lot of people an inside of my life. I don't tell y'all everything, but I like to be transparent to give y'all an inside look into my life. So I had got tested, I think 3 times. The last test that I got was it last Friday or Thursday?
Yeah, I think it was last week. You said you got tested in Orangeburg.
Right. I got my 3rd test in Orangeburg, and because I had to do some business at the DMV there, and I was just driving by the fairgrounds in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and shout out to South Carolina State University in Claflin, my old stomping grounds, Bethea Hall, room 254. Still remember my dorm room number. And I was driving by the fairgrounds, and I was like, oh, they're doing testing, and I went ahead and got tested. And I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I continue to get tested is because, one, my first exposure to people after during this whole pandemic, was the George Floyd protests that happened in Columbia, and I was out there more on a more journalist level to
Well, you were supposed to speak too.
And I was actually supposed to speak
Yeah.
at one of the protests, but I'm not going into that tonight.
Yeah. Just
But so I ended up being around thousands and thousands of people. I was out there when the cop cars were getting set on fire, and I think no, they were getting set on fire, and that's when I left.
right.
But I was exposed to a lot of people.
Right. You were surrounded. By
Right.
people. Right.
And so even days after that, I was going to meetings, Zoom calls. Zoom calls don't matter, but I was going to physical meetings, meeting people and stuff of that nature. And then the Million Man March happened, and around that time, I got tested again. And so my first test came back negative. Around the time I went to Million Man March, and then before that, like right before that, it was negative. And so, because I was just around thousands and thousands of people. And so it'd be irresponsible of me,
right.
for me, because I need to live. I gotta live. I can't, I feel like I have to be here for my children and for my family. I have purpose. So yes, I'm putting myself in harm's way, but I'm still going to get tested because it's just a responsible thing to do. Like I don't want us to think in the black community that, it's a taboo thing to get tested. Because believe it or not, in our black communities, they're feeling like it's taboo to get tested.
Shoot, at first, people would think we couldn't catch it.
You remember that?
Y'all, we need to stop believing these memes that be posted and floating through your timelines. Come on now, y'all. Come on. We got to stop that, please.
Yes.
We were thinking we were invincible to the Rona, y'all.
Yeah, at first we was like, oh, we can't get it.
Oh, if you have melanin, you can't catch it.
And so I was sitting there. I bet you coronavirus was like, oh really? Hey, okay.
We got your ass.
You get there.
Excuse me for cursing,
Yeah.
but just keeping it real.
Yes, yes. So in the black community, we gotta stop thinking it's taboo. Go get yourself tested.
Be responsible.
Yeah, there's some people I know and love that we both know and love and respect and everything. They out here in these digital streets, as Rashonda Pratt says, out here in these digital and physical streets, talking about they ain't worried about it. They ain't wearing no masks because they healthy. And it's like, it's not about that, y'all. It's not about that.
You have to look at a lot of things, not just Rona, but I mean, you have to look at it from more than one perspective. It's just not about that.
So, yeah, so it's not taboo, y'all. Go get yourself tested. Don't be sitting there and be thinking like, if you've been out there getting yourself exposed to certain things and out there, and you out there in the gym just living your life. I went to Planet Fitness, and them people just out there at Planet Fitness just sweating it up, boy.
Sweating it up.
Flexing their muscles in the mirror and getting coronavirus. I was like, hot dog. That's why I'm worried about school starting. That's why I'm sitting up like people all up in the gyms, ain't no worries in the world, and just really. So
better do some push-ups at home.
yes. Go get yourself tested. Oh, so yeah, we got comments. You sitting up there, you watching any of these comments? I'm sorry, y'all. We sitting up there.
I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
I got some on my watch party.
You see, y'all. He's about to fuss at me.
What's up, Cameo?
You wasn't watching.
What's up, Rodney? Went to high school, Rodney. Rodney said I might have to lower the drawbridge and come out and see Trina. Bruh, don't you do it, Rodney. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Trina old school, man. Ain't nobody think about no Trina.
You don't know.
Maybe we could do, what's her name? Summer? What's the girl named Summer? You know the artist.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
The girl, the singer, Summer, her name's Summer something.
Oh, Lord.
Summer Walker. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about, yo.
What's that girl name, y'all? Summer Walker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come, Rodney, lower the drawbridge, go see her. Or the girl you don't like that I think is saying, what's the girl name?
Wait. I did not say I don't like her. I don't think she's a great singer live. Her music is good. You know, you can be a good
I know what you
studio
mean.
singer, but live, you're not there.
I know what you mean.
Man, see,
I'm with you.
whatever.
But who else got something here? My mom commented. What's up, Mom?
See, I need to go on your watch party.
She said, but people should not procreate and bring children into this world if they are not prepared to go through the good, the bad, the ugly. Yes, I have
That's a
empathy. Ooh, Lord, my mom. Ooh. You see where I get my long-windedness from.
Mama be right.
I give my
Essay.
mom, boy, my mom, look. My mom's an awesome writer. And that's where I get my writing abilities from. However, this pandemic is not the fault. No. Yes, I have empathy for the single parents and the parents who cannot work from home. However, this pandemic is not the fault of the children. I said it before and I'm saying it again. Send your children to school, but make sure you have good medical coverage and make sure you have money to bury your children. Woo.
Oh Lord.
No. This pandemic is not over, and the politicians are playing games with the American people to fully open the schools in order to get the parents back to work to make money for the rich folks. That is an awesome point because we were kind of talking about that yesterday. Mm-hmm. This thing is about money.
We sure did. That conversation was about to be long.
We could be live.
No, the stuff we be talking about.
I am telling y'all right now, we could be live for the next 3 hours talking about this thing. Because I'm telling you, we get deep in these conversations.
You know I'm a deep thinker.
Look.
Don't come my way with no small talk.
The Constitution of the United States of America tells us that the government is supposed to protect its people and provide for the common defense. Who is looking out for us? Who is looking out for our precious children? Mm-hmm. Our children is the future.
That's right.
And it's right. It's like, and I share those same sentiments. Like I feel real bad for the parents that can't stay home. But if I could speak to the parents, it's like, this is the time for you to really take a deep self-assessment of yourself. It's been time. Mm-hmm. People don't understand. Like we talked about the shift last night.
A lot of people don't understand that.
I'm just gonna blanket statement that because if we start talking about the shift,
that's another topic.
Y'all,
that can go far. That conversation right there.
If we could talk about the shift that is happening, we would be on for like the next 3 hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
We could literally talk right now from 10 o'clock p.m. till the morning time about this and still haven't covered what goes on in our minds. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to do that to y'all tonight because it's getting late, and I'm grateful for the 11 folks that are out there. If you listening, watching it, and everything, share this video to your page, because we want to get y'all input. Right. But what my mother was saying is correct. I feel for you, but if there's ever a time,
we just gotta be mindful with our choices now.
Right. Mm-hmm. You have to be very intentful right now.
Be intentional.
You cannot. You cannot relax. You can't take your gas your foot off the gas pedal.
Right.
You have to plot a course and you have to go and you do it. Mm-hmm. If you haven't done it, you're late. But do it anyway.
Right.
Because I'm saying I've been saying in November we don't know which way this thing's gonna go.
Right.
And I'm talking about the election. Trump could win, and things are gonna get worse. Mm-hmm. He loses. I feel like he ain't gonna leave that White House without going down without a fight.
Right.
And it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens from there. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a parent out there and you work in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 jobs, you are going to have to find a way to get yourself a job where you can work from home. You're going to have to, if you haven't gotten into a profession, you may have to change profession. Right now, this second, there are teachers resigning from being teachers. They're being forced to pick another career because the wife might be pregnant, or it might be a pregnant woman. The father might have the husband / father might have an autoimmune disease or something, or vice versa. Somebody in the family. There are teachers that are resigning today.
Of course.
They're filling out their letter and sending it to their school district, and they're resigning and stepping down immediately. This is the time that us as parents have to make the changes. And so to kind of tie a bow on this show, because I swear on everything I love, we can keep going. But
I'm sleepy.
I know you're sleepy. I'm sleepy. My house is filthy. I didn't get my house clean. But to tie a bow on this about the schools, I think it's a huge mistake to have the option to send kids to school face to face 5 days a week. That is a huge mistake, because with that, what are we going to do? And these are blanket statements, questions that I'm just going to throw out there. What are you going to do when one person, what are you going to do when one person tests positive? You going to quarantine them? How long you going to quarantine them? 14 days? So that's 2 weeks of school instructions that child or that teacher is going to miss. Do you have substitute teachers ready? Because the teachers are going to get the virus. If the teacher gets it, do you quarantine all the students that they have?
Right. It's going to be like a domino effect.
Like, what are you going to do? Or if they get sick and, they're sick, so they can't do work for those 2 weeks, they're sick. How are you going to handle all that? So you could literally have kids missing 2 weeks at a time of schooling. I just don't think this is the time. I think this is the time to, especially in South Carolina with our hard-headed behinds, this is the time for us to sit down and figure this thing out. The government, us as parents, I'm going to say this and we're about to go. Us as parents, we need to hold our local, our state and federal government responsible. Do not let them off the hook.
Make some noise.
Look, you parents, you should be furious. You should be furious that they hadn't figured this damn thing out yet. You should also be furious that here we are in August and there's no definite set plan still. Somebody said at least we have options. It's never been about an option. It's been about people. There's people that don't want to be wrong, and there's people that don't want to be right. That is where we're at. There's people that's scared to make a decision. They want to give people options, so they say, "Well, we gave you options, then you picked it."
This way, they don't want to feel responsible.
Right. So the president doesn't want to be responsible. I mean, the governor, apparently, he wants to be responsible because he has no chill.
Right.
So, but parents, I implore you, do not let your government off the hook.
Just make a wise choice about it, but also let's make some noise.
Yes.
Collectively.
We should be, if there's a time to protest, this is it. If there's a time you got election season coming up. People that are looking to be reelected or newly elected or whatever. You need to be holding these people to the fire. Right. These teachers got enough. Here's I'm gonna leave. I think we're gonna leave on this. You got anything else to say?
Man, you know I was sleepy before this show started. I'm holding on.
Yeah, it's 10. I'm holding 10:30. Like I said, I swear we could be going for like the next 3-4 hours into the morning.
I'll be closed off on you.
Yeah, because once I get to talking, it's a wrap. But yeah. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna leave. I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna leave. Yeah. I'm gonna look into that camera right there. She put herself in the camera. You're supposed to be tired and sleepy. But anyway, are the teachers going to get hazardous pay during this pandemic? Is our state and federal governments, are we going to ensure that our teachers I'm at least saying make it worth their while. Mm-hmm. Make it worth their while. I mean, they're going to sacrifice their life and possibly die. Make it worth their while. Give them hazardous pay. Increase their pay because they're sacrificing their life, and there's parents sacrificing their children all in the name to go to work and also get the kids out to get educated. There's so many angles that we're going to be going through this. So are the teachers going to get more pay during this time, during this pandemic? I really think they deserve it, and I think they should get it. And so we're going to be talking about that more and more and more as we continue on. And I don't want to have you on the camera because you about to fall dead asleep. Give me 30 seconds, like liven up, spruce yourself up just for 30 seconds. But anyway, we'll be talking about that and more. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for checking us out. We'll do better. We'll get better at this. Hopefully we'll have a phone line up tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Don't be calling dead air now.
Yeah.
I'm a cuss yo. Let me stop.
But yeah, so.
Don't be calling playing on the phone.
No, they won't do that to us. We'll get them anyway. But anyway, so tomorrow at 7 p.m. And we'll start on time. We'll be ready. Just had some technical difficulties. Tomorrow we're going to be talking to parents. Mostly from District 1 and also from other districts. There's also a parent from Charleston where the coronavirus numbers are the highest. They're in Charleston. So tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll be talking to parents. And then on Thursday at 7 p.m., or I think 7 p.m., we'll be talking to teachers. Okay. And we got a slew of teachers, so we got some exciting times. I hope you're ready. Okay. This show is going to be up and popping. We're going to be doing crazy things, and we're going to be getting this on. House of Harley Radio is back. We empower, educate, and entertain all walks of life.
That's right, yo.
And look, I'm telling you, we back. You guys asked for it. We back, baby. We back to do this thing, and we about to look. I'm telling y'all. We ain't taking no prisoners, y'all. The one thing that I love about House of Harley Radio is that we are the voice. We are the conscience of America. We are. So with that being said, thank you for listening. Thank you for checking us out. And for myself and my co-host Selena, Trevor, we're gonna have you on. Fined. You got a $10 fine, Trevor Ashford,
tonight.
You said you're going to be on tomorrow and Thursday. We expect to see you, brother. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. Please share this show. We're back. We're ready to go. House of Harley Radio. Let's go.
Ooh, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. Anyway, bye. We'll see y'all later. Love y'all.